Welcome to MZ Learning Hub. This is Introduction to C Programming Language, Lesson 1. First, let us define what is C programming language. C is a general purpose programming language created by Dennis Ritchie at the Bell Labs in 1972. It is a very popular language despite being old. The main reason for its popularity is because it is fundamental language in the field of computer science. C is strongly associated with Unix operating system as it has been developed to write the kernel for the Unix operating system back in the early 1970s. Why learning C? Despite the fact that C is not very popular in creating commercial applications nowadays, but it remains one of the most popular programming languages in the world. If you know C, you will have no problem learning other languages such as Python, Java, C++, and C Sharp. Also, the syntax is very similar. Also, if you know C, you will understand how computer memory works. C is very fast compared to other programming languages such as Java and Python. C is very versatile. That means it can be used in both applications and technologies. The difference between C and C++ is that C++ was developed as an extension of C, and both languages have almost the same syntax and can be compiled by the same compiler. In fact, C++ and C Sharp are called C-based languages. The main difference between C and C++ is that C++ supports object orientation, so it supports classes and objects, while C does not. So you can fairly say that C is a procedural language while C++ is an object-oriented programming language. C file has extension .c while C++ has extension .cpp. So when you compile the program, when you save the file, you have to save it as with extension .c. This is the general syntax for a C program. The first two lines are comment lines, which cannot be seen by the compiler. The first line is called block comment, while the second line is called a line comment. The green color line is called preprocessor directive, which is a header file for standard input output, which is printf and scanf, the two output and input functions. So include stdio.h is required for using printf and scanf. After the main function comes the two braces, so all statements should be placed between these two braces. This is an example, program 1, and this is actually the first two lines are comments, and the first line before the main function is called standard input output header file stdio.h, and this program prints only one statement. The blue color line is called string literal, which is what you see in the print out statement is what you get after the program is compiled and run. Every statement, print out statement or input statement or declaration statement or assignment statement, it should end with a semicolon at the end. Printf is the function for C to print the file, to print what is between the two parentheses and between the two quotations to print it to the screen. So after you run this program successfully, you will get up this my first C program, which is this is the output expected. If you like to practice, first you have to search in Google for a desktop version called dev C++. Once you find it, then you can download the executable file. And then after you download the executable file, install it. Then you search for it in your search button, and then you will open the program from either file, source file, or the top left empty rectangle. Once you open it, then it will see the default file name called untitled1 with a white background screen. Let us do an example. So click here and type dev, then open the application. This is the application, which is this is the first line. This is a comment, and then we have include stdio.h, and then my main function start with the data type integer, which refer to this return 0. Return 0, it's a optional statement for the return value of this function. My first and only statement in this example is a printf statement, which has only one statement. This is my first C program. Then you have to end with a semicolon. If you don't end with the semicolon, this program will give you an error. Let us try that. First, compile, click here on this for squares, colored squares, and then type the program name like program 1, and then save it as c.c file, then click save, and this will get an error, expected semicolon before return. Expected semicolon right here. So you put the semicolon and then compile one more time, and then you'll see error 0, warning 0, and then you can actually click here F10 or run the program to see this output right here. So this is the first C program that we have done.